Alright guys, this is a little two-stroke that we purposely destroyed last week in our engine destruction video. And we're going to pull this engine out, tear it down, and do a post-mortem and try to see what kind of internal damage happened to this little two-stroke. I have a little trouble getting this drive pulley off. We tried to use a puller and it's rusted on there so badly it just took chunks of the pulley off. So we're going to see if we can't just cut the shaft. Going pretty good. Bit of a caveman result here, but we did get the pulley off. Now let's get this engine out. Alright, we got our little 3-horse two-stroke Tecumseh pulled out of the snowblower. And we're going to open this thing up and look at the damage caused by the engine destruction project from last week. We've removed the carb, we've removed the recoil, we got to pull the flywheel and the ignition coil and the exhaust, and then we can pull the head. There we go. We got the flywheel pulled off, and now we got to get these weird fasteners out to remove this end plate.
Yeah, this is a good one.
So we got the head pulled off this thing, and you can see the cylinder scoring is pretty bad. The engine actually freed itself up once it cooled down, and it actually moves up and down, but there is quite a bit of cylinder scoring. We're going to pull the piston and get the crank out. Here's the crankshaft, which actually the bearing surfaces and the bearing, this big roller bearing, or ball bearing rather, look really pretty good condition, feel pretty good. The cylinder itself, you can see scoring on, definitely towards the bottom. Look at that, that's pretty bad. But here's where you really see the evidence is on the piston. Look at that. That is some bad scoring. That, kids, is what happens when you run an engine with no oil. We ran this little Tecumseh two-stroke with no oil, and what evidence of damage do we see? Well, you can see the cylinder after running it through a parts washer. You can really see the scoring. Quite a lot of damage to the inside of the cylinder, and then the piston itself is heavily damaged with heavy scoring, and there was even some metal transfer from the piston to the side of the cylinder, if you can see there. So this thing had lack of lubrication, it overheated, and it seized up